गात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Let us now pray together. We offer our salutations to the all-loving being who endows all beings with consciousness. We meditate on the Lord, who is the origin of the universe. Lord, thou abidest in all, thou art all, thou assumest all forms. Thou art the origin and goal of all. Thou art the self of all. Thou art existence, knowledge and bliss. Salutations unto thee. May the world be peaceful. May the wicked become gentle. May all creatures think of mutual welfare. May our minds be occupied with what is spiritual and abiding. May our hearts be immersed in selfless love for the Lord. Peace, peace, peace unto all. There will be the opening song or the chant. That is the topic of today's discussion. It is a chant for deep meditation. So while Sukalyan is leading this chant, let us all meditate on our innermost, deepest essence of being, who we really are, while the song is being recited. So please, Sukalyan.
So this song is very familiar to many of you, so please join along. And this holds even for those who are joining us online. We may not be able to hear them, but I'm sure they'll enjoy the lecture after the talk.
No, they will hear.
We can't hear them.
Oh, we can't hear them, right.
Mano buddhyahankara cittani naham na cha shrotra jihve na cha ghrana netre na cha vyoma bhumir na tejo na vayu chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham chidananda rupa Shivoham Shivoham na cha prana sangyo na vai pancha vayuh na va sapta dhatu na va pancha koshah na vakpani padam na chopastha payu chidananda rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Na me dvesha ragau na me lobha mohau Mado naiva me naiva matsarya bhavaha Na dharmo na chartho na kamo na mokshaha Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Na punyam na papam na saukhyam na dukkham Na mantro na tirtham na veda na yajnaha अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं न मृत्युर्न शङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्मः न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्यम् चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपो विभुत्वाच्च सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां न चासङ्गतं नैव मुक्तिर्न मेयः चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्.
Thank you, Sukalyan. On last Friday, we had the observation of Shankaracharya's birthday. It was Shankaracharya's birthday. Shankaracharya, one of the greatest teachers of the self-knowledge and a topmost philosopher, was born in the southern part of India, and the life is just tremendously inspiring and very much unbelievable, because you don't see any such person doing things at such a tender age. So it certainly is unique. Once I said, well, how is it possible? Then my teacher told, well, it is not possible for ordinary people. That is why we observe their birthdays, we follow them, we learn from them. That is, they are extraordinary people. Let alone Shankaracharya. In the modern times, if you see Vivekananda, in such a short span of life, all these great things he accomplished were very much like that. And now, how will people believe that this is possible? It is in our times, and there are still the records available of all the things that he did, and therefore we know it is possible. Shankaracharya wanted to, become a monk right at a very early age of 5 years. By that time he already had finished the study of all different scriptures. His mother got widowed very early. Probably just Shankara didn't get to see his father for not more than a few months or so. And this widowed mother then took care of this little child, Shankara. And he was so brilliant. He studied all different scriptures in just no time. The Vedas, the Puranas and Smritis, before he became 5-year-old. And then he had that tremendous desire that he studied from the scripture that unless one gives up the attachment for uh, whatever is seen as I and mine, how there is no possibility of getting the experience of self-knowledge. Unless you give up what is unreal, there is no possibility of getting that which is real. And so there is a miraculous event that happened. It is said that in his biography, which is written long after actually his giving of physical body, and therefore there are so many different versions of how the events took place. But one thing that is commonly mentioned is that his lifespan was declared by the those soothsayers or fortune tellers that he would be living only up to 8 years of life. At the age of 8 he would die. So he was pestering his mother that let me take to monastic life. And mother said, well, you are the only child, up to whom shall I look for support if you go away? Now see, no parent actually looks to the support of the child when the child is just 5 years old. It is 5-year-old child who would be looking for support from the parents. But here the mother says, no, no, you are my only support. So she was not letting him take the monastic vows and leave the home. But it so happened that once in the river, that river you can see even now, at the place where they were living, they had their house. So as they went to take a bath there, and as little Shankara, mom had her bath, Shankara got into the river, he was swimming, and then a crocodile caught hold of him. And crocodile, not easy to get out of the clutches of the crocodile. That's gone. I had told you one joke, there is a crocodile park. It is not a joke, it's a fact that there is a crocodile park in one reserved forest. And then it is, the signboard there is, says a lot. It is a simple signboard that crocodile park, swimming strictly prohibited. And underneath it was written, survivors will be prosecuted. So that line was quite enough for people to get deterred from going into swimming. That is how the crocodile's grip is. If the crocodile catches, that's it. So it is Shankaracharya then screamed to his mom, oh look, I am caught by crocodile, I am gone. At least at this moment, give me the permission to become a monk, a sannyasi. Anyway, I am dying now. So at least let me die as a monastic, and then I will get absorbed in my true nature. The mother saw that she was an intelligent woman. She saw anyway now his life cannot be saved. And so she said, okay, my child, that's it. And so Shankara, as was taking this orally the vows of sannyasa, the crocodile, as it were, somehow found that this little child is not good for its eating, so left the Shankara's body and Shankara comes out. So this was the second lease of life for Shankara. The first lease was over when he was 8. The crocodile had caught him, and then now the crocodile releases him, and now the second part of his life, as it were, began. And that is true. Taking the vows of sannyasa is kind of another birth. And you are now getting the birth connected with God. So it is he comes out and tells mother, now I am a monastic, I cannot live at home now. I am not, as a monastic, I am not allowed to go and live at home. So I am going away. So it is said then that he walked from that South Indian village, Kaladi, all the way to the western side, northwestern side, Omkareshwar, on the banks of Narmada. He walked. Now you may ask how this child walked that distance. But that is how the things happen in such an extraordinary life. So he went from that Kaladi to Omkareshwar, and there he met his guru. That guru was waiting there, as it were, for Shankaracharya. So as you can, even now they show what the cave was. The name of the guru was Govindapad. So Shankaracharya enters that cave. The guru was seated there, and as Shankara enters, he asked the question that who you are. Who you are. Commonly, if somebody is entering that way, the person that we have not seen before, and then we would ask, who are you? Who are you? And Shankara answered in this hymn, who I am. This hymn was composed at that time, that who am I? And this is such an inspiring hymn for last over 1,000 years. People are reading, reciting this hymn and getting this tremendous inspiration about who I am. I am this existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. This is the line that gets repeated. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. That is what I am. That is to be realized. That is to be experienced. This is the truth. But we do not experience this truth. So for experiencing this truth, we have to get separated from our identification and attachment with that which is not true. That is how this hymn goes. The truth is emphasized. There are 6 stanzas. So this truth is emphasized 6 times at the end of each and every stanza. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. This is to be remembered. I am the existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. I am the auspicious Shiva, absolute. Let this keep on ringing in our ears, in our mind. I am the bliss supreme, the knowledge supreme. I am the existence supreme. And so, with this comes that thought that I have to realize it by separating myself with all the erroneous consciousness that I have about who I am. This is the simple thing, that Vedanta as such is very simple in its core. Even a child can easily understand this. That to know the truth, you have to get away from that which is not truth. And yet we hold on to it. The difficulty lies in our tremendous attachment to that which is not real. And the attachment is such that it does not go away easily. It is very much ingrained in whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever we feel. In all deep layers of our personality, this error is all ingrained. It is deeply integrated in our personality, and so it is very difficult to remove it. So it is something that has gone so deep. So therefore it is to be seen that I have to get separated. Now what I have to get separated has layers. So, and these layers are described not exactly right from out to in, but from the level of importance with which we get tied to it. That it is our very deep connection is with our what in Sanskrit is called subtle body, Sukshma Sharira. It is Sukshma Sharir, which has these components of our mind, intellect, then ego, sensory and motor organs. All are parts of that. This subtle body cannot be seen with the gross eyes. It is seen, just to give an idea, the example is given like your dream body, your dream world. That dream world is not seen by these eyes. It is the dream eyes, the subtle body's eyes that see that. It is, so those eyes are seeing this, that mind is feeling this, and so forth. The dream body, it is, we see it only in dream. When we wake up, we don't see it anymore. So that is what is referred to as the I am not the mind. Mano, buddhi, ahankar, chittani naham. That it is, these are the four functions of this subtle body or the inner organ. The better word is inner organ. Antakarana, the Sanskrit word is very beautiful. Antakarana means, karana means the organs. That is called karana, means instruments. The instruments with which we do many things, that is called karana. So our these organs, they are called karana because through that we do many things. With the eyes we see, with the ears we hear, with the hands we do different work. So they are called karana. But there is an instrument that is kept somewhat inside, not visible, and therefore it is called the inner instrument, antakarana. It is, and then there are certain secondary instruments which are attached to our other regular external instruments. like we take a pen for writing. Now the pen writes only when your hand holds it. It is otherwise it doesn't write. So it is attached to the hand. So pen is called a secondary instrument, upakarana. The Sanskrit word is upakarana. So these different instruments are this inner organ or inner instrument, antakarana. It has these, inner instrument has these four functions. One is the mind, that is looking at various possibilities. One can do this, that, one can be this thing or that thing. So it is various possibilities are presented. And then there is the other function. It is something like you choose a book from the library. There are, say, 15 different books are available for you to study. And then you look, this, is this okay? Is that better? Is that more important? Which one I should be studying? So now you have to select which one to study. You cannot keep all books and running your eyes. It won't make you read anything. So therefore you have to choose. And that is another function called intellect. The mind throws up the possibilities, intellect is that which selects. Nishchayatmika buddhi. The Sanskrit expression for that, which determines, nishchay means determination, which one I would select. Okay. And then there is the ego, ahankara, which is as it were connected into all these and becomes like a glue that makes that these other functions communicate or happen with within itself. Then there is this chitta. It is the storehouse of memory. So everything is kept in the subtle form there. The impressions are stored in it, because these impressions become now basis for the next functions of our mind and intellect. They have to be therefore kept there. So every single thing that is done gets microprocessed and stored in our that inner instrument, that is called a function named chitta, the storage, the memory. So memory storage is there. So this it has the functions, of taking it in and pigeonholing it and bringing it out when needed. When it gets disturbed, like when a person becomes aged, or even it happens when the person is not so aged, or may not happen even if the person is of an advanced age. It is a kind of a degeneration of this whole instrument, and then the memory doesn't function that well. Some years back, one of our volunteers said that, oh, I met this devotee at this Providence, some grocery store. I met her. Said, you met her? Yes, yes, I met her here at the East Side Marketplace. Oh, she lives in Boston. Do you mean to say she drove all the way from Boston? I can't believe this, that she drove from Boston all the way to buy some groceries in this East Side Marketplace. No, I don't think so. No, I did see her. I spoke to her. Said, wow. What actually had happened was she had met another lady whom she knew, but confused one with another. So it happens, you know. It is, yeah, I said, no, no, you cannot be meeting that lady, she like that. And if she comes all the way to get something from Boston to this, she would come to Vedanta Society. Uh, well, and it turned out later that was another lady that also she knew. I also knew her. So it is, what happens now? It is they, like in the library, our Naomi experiences this, the book is kept in the wrong slot. And so the retrieval is not properly happening, or the books are mixed up here and there. So when you see something, actually you remember something else. So this memory function is disturbed there. So these four functions are mentioned here: mano, buddhi, ahankara, chittani, naham. I am none of these. This is an instrument. I am not that. Let us remember, it is started from this inner instrument because we are more identified with it than with the physical instrument which we see. And they are outer. We see that changing, but then the mind and other things, we don't see them changing that often or that quickly, and therefore we get more identified with that. So it is therefore told first that you are not that. Also, you are not the inner, all these organs that nacha shrotra jivhe, nacha ghrana netre, that it is, you are not the organs of hearing, taste, smell, or so forth. None of these you are. It is because they are objects. They are your instruments that you work with. So they cannot be you. Shankaracharya, in his many Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita commentaries, gives this as criterion, that what is that you are not, and what is changing is object. That which you can see as object. Last Friday, Prithvi had asked this question, that well, in many that you don't observe the change. Those things which change fast, you can see the change. Oh, the morning has become evening because I see the sun was on the east, now the sun has gone to west, easily observable. But I don't see that the sun itself is changing. It is there for how many trillion years, who knows. So it is, and we don't see it changing so fast. We do not see the galaxies changing every minute. It is, we don't observe. Not that they don't change, but since we do not observe that, we may think of them as unchanging, as it were. But they are not unchanging because they are observable. And the very process of observation means change. So this is a little subtle point, but that is how Shankaracharya describes it, that it is Jneyatvat Kshetram. In the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, on the second verse, a very beautiful long commentary is there, that about what is the known and what is the knower. And then the known is, what is known, Bhagavad Gita tells, that which can be pointed out, this, and that which changes. Yad vikari yatascha yat. So, that which is this you can separately tell that is therefore observed or known, and the knower is therefore different from that. So, it is said that everything that changes, and therefore everything that is observed, and whatever you observe, it is changing. It is, you are therefore not any of that, you are unchanging. You are not even the subtle elements with which these are formed. Na chavyoma bhumir na tejo na vayu. The five elements from which all this, the organs as well as the inner instrument is formed. Those elements also you are not. The elements from which it is formed, those elements are finer than the product. So, therefore, it is, one may think that, am I that? No, you are not that either. You are Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. You are that supreme consciousness, bliss and auspiciousness, supreme Shivoham Shivoham. And then it says, there is the next sheath, outer sheath is called Prana Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, or the energy sheath. That which powers the body, the mind, and then there is an interface, the inner instrument and the outer physical body. There is another interface where the signals are converted into energy. It is just to give an example of our common observance. There is the data in your computer. Everybody uses computers, so they know there is this data. And then you have, say, a document that you print or even see on the monitor. Now, that data is just a sequence, it is in information. It needs a transform to make it appear as particular pictures. So there is this transformer between them is the energy sheath, the pranamaya kosha. So without this, the body, the organs will not function. So this interface has to be there. This is called Pranamaya Kosha. Kosha means a sheath, as it were, a sheath on our true nature. So there is this sheath of mind, intellect. There is then the sheath, a little outer sheath is that of this prana or energy. Nacha prana saujno, nacha, what is it? Nava sapta dhatu, nava panchakoshaha, navak pani padam, nachupasthapayu. So then the motor organs are described too here, that, and there is this seven, as it were, the some primary substances, I don't want to go, they are called dhatu. So they are connected with different organs and their functions. So sometimes the organs are also called dhatu. So they are, I am not them either. I am none of these. I am the supreme consciousness, bliss, absolute. So this is to be remembered again and again. I am not any of the things that are seen as object, either gross or subtle. And so, uh, the effects are also not I am. This is a very important thing for the spiritual aspirants, that one has to therefore control these effects. As the effects are controlled, it gives a feedback to the cause, and the cause also gets diminished, reduced. Like you in the garden, when these shoots are coming, all the weeds are coming up as the spring appears, showers come, and before the plants that we want to grow, the weeds start growing first. So what do we do? You will see our Ezra has put lot of mulch on it, so that the mulch keeps it subdued. It doesn't get the scope to grow, and because it doesn't get scope to grow, it eventually dies, goes inside, and so waits for an opportunity. So what we see in our these expressions, that the attractions and repulsions in life, likes and dislikes, that actually practically governs our living. And this is a big detrimental factor in our spiritual life. We don't realize it, but our likes pull us in one direction, that which we dislike pulls us in other direction. And so we don't know where to go. We get pulled in one place, this thing, and then dislikes are there. So we want to get away from dislikes. So, and they change, that which we liked and we dislike. After some time we dislike it. So therefore, in fact, the psychologists say that we like something only till we get it. After we get it, we lose all the attraction for it. And so, oh no, I don't like it anymore. Till we get it, we are running after it. That, okay, yes, I should get married, I want a spouse and all that. It is to make lot of efforts for that. Get worried also, how will I get married? Oh, I don't know. But it is, once you get it, it doesn't take too long to get disillusioned that they were all dreams, I don't like it anymore, and so forth. So it is, but now the attraction goes away, but the bondage stays, you see. The bondage doesn't go away. So the bondage continues. So therefore it is told, don't base your life on likes and dislikes. Name dvesha ragau. This dvesha means the repulsion, hatred. Raga means the likings, the attractions. That do not base the actions on that. This is we don't realize it, but it is a very, very big impediment in our getting connected to the truth. The life that is propelled by these likes and dislikes. So, no, I am not that. Let us remember this again and again. I am not that. And then continue. This is this going after likes and dislike gives it kind of becomes solidified, and it gives rise to what is called the greed and delusion, lobha moha. It is moha means delusion. You forget what is real. One thinks that this is all the life is for. So that is called moha, delusion. The values get all perverted. That Patanjali very nicely describes that how the values get perverted. He calls that as avidya or nishanas, and the signs of avidya are told that whatever is unreal is taken as real. Whatever is actually going to bring misery is taken as the source of joy. Whatever is not I is taken as I. Whatever is really dirty and filthy, that is taken as beautiful. That is how all the values are turned on their head. So this happens because of this going after likes and dislikes. So therefore he says, I am none of them. These are like the vibrations, they will come, but I should not associate with those, because once I click on them, like all the spamming emails, as long as you don't click on them, you are okay. You should not click open on them, and especially when there is an attachment, keep aside completely. There is this nice cartoon I saw. One novice in a Buddhist monastery was asking the pontiff, are we monk allowed to use emails? And the pontiff with a grave face says, yes, but without attachment. So it is, the attachment has double meaning, of course. So it is, one gets caught in it. Once you open it, click it, I like this. This is so good. Now you have clicked it, and now it grabs us. Now we don't find an easy way out once we are grabbed by it. So I don't want to dwell too much on it. There is not much time left for today's discussion. Let us proceed. There is no lobha, moha, I am not that. Means don't get caught in it. Don't click on it. When you click on that attachment, you get identified with it. So be very sure. The other similar emotions or feelings that get generated when this jealousy, not only that I have desire for it, and I have desire for it, but somehow I don't get it. I am sad, but not so sad. I become really sad when my neighbor gets it. Oh, that's terrible, it is. So, jealousy is a terrible affliction. We become so perturbed, upset, can't sleep, because I didn't get okay, but how that fellow got it. So it is, if nobody gets, fine, but that fellow got it, and so therefore I lost my chance. So it is that jealousy, matsarya, name matsarya bhavaha. There is no jealousy. Why? Because I am Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I don't need to get anything. I am divine. I am existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. There is nothing can be added to me. I am perfection itself. So, if somebody gets something, it is not. I do not lose anything by that, because after all the self is same in all. It is like getting in my left hand or right hand. I do not care much about it. If say I was hankering for $1,000 and somebody gave me a check of $1,000, do I care much about whether it was given in my left hand or right hand? So, because the same self is there. So when one sees that the self in all is same, you do not really care whether this being gets it or that being gets it. It is real. We find it difficult, bordering on the lines of impossibility, because we are identified with this body which we are not. So, to remove this terrible, erroneous identification, one has to work. Work means not you have to start and digging, take an axe and start cutting trees. No, not like that. Work means with every pulsation of consciousness, we have to say, who am I? I am this consciousness absolute. I am not this. No, I am not this body. It is just a heap of flesh. You see, how can I be that? So, it is, then it says further that, and therefore actually no merits or demerits, no karma for me, good or bad. Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham. There is no that sense of merit or demerit. They are all, they come to body, mind and so forth. And if I am attached to body, mind, then I get it. But if I am not, I don't get it. It is, now I have put on this clothing, this shirt and all. Now if somebody comes and gives me a big blow, don't do that, but it is as if you give a blow, then why? It hurts. Why did you hit me? I get angry, I get pain. But suppose I take out this shirt, put it on the hanger, and then if somebody gives it a big blow, oh wow, some nice, the dusting has been done. It is, I don't get the blow because it is, I am not attached to it. So, this is how one should practice, that the karma does not get attached to me. It's good or bad. What do I care? It is, I don't incur any karma, good or bad. And so-called pain and pleasure, saukhyam na dukkham, because it is the external something that I am not really connected with at all. That is how one goes beyond pleasures and pains. When one is detached from these. I am not this. You do not feel the pain. The degree of our involvement and attachment brings the pain or pleasure. It is like a mother, when the child gets a reward, the mother becomes happier than the child. My son or daughter got A plus. The child would feel happy, but more than that, the parents feel happy and elated and tell everybody. It is so. Similarly, pain. My child is sick. Oh, so much pain comes. It is, that doesn't happen if it is somebody, some child somewhere, say in China, is and not connected to me at all. If that fellow gets some reward or whatever, we do not pay attention. We do not think about it because I am not connected with it. So I am not connected with any such thing. This is to be reminded to us again and again. This is a practice. This is spiritual practice. We say we do spiritual practice, repeat some mantra or something, or do some worship. That is good. But the spirit of it is this, to keep on emphasizing on our minds that I am none of these, but I am the divine. I am the bliss absolute. We are actually that bliss absolute. So this continues further, that it is that I am not the food or the eater. It is food and the eater. Na bhokta, na bhojyam, na bhokta. The food and eater. What is happening when the food is eaten? It is somewhere in a plate, and then it gets into the bag called tummy. It is another bag. It is transferred from one receptacle to another receptacle. I am not the eater of the food. So this is an important thing to be remembered, This is to be remembered and imprinted emphatically on our minds. That is spiritual practice. So, and na mrityur na shanka na me jati bhedah, that there is no death for me. There is no doubt of death either. There is no different types of species or the caste connections for me. I am none of that. The same self is in this body as well as in a body, say, of a stone or the body of a fish. They are actually the difference in the body, and just as the same electricity is in all these bulbs and all these other appliances that are running in the electricity. The appliances are different, function according to that difference of their nature. But the electricity that powers them is the same after all. So, similarly, the self is same, working in all different instruments. It is. So, I am none of these instruments. I am the inner reality. I am the essence of all these. This is the truth, friends. It is spiritual life means making a decision conscientiously whether we want truth or untruth. Come on, we have to make a choice. No, I want 50% of truth or well, no, then it is all untruth. It is you have to make a choice. We need to make a choice. If I want truth in life, then there is the obvious thing is I have to give up untruth. This price cannot be negotiated. Shankaracharya in one of his commentaries says that, this is not the time to give a long, enter into a long discussion on that, but very important point of real scientific nature. This idea is really scientific, means truly impersonal, that it is the nature of the thing is that if you want truth, then the price is for that truth is decided by this, that you have to give up untruth. It is, the price is not negotiable there. Do you want truth? The condition of this objective condition of it is that, so I have to give up untruth. It's a very simple thing. There is no negotiation on that, because he uses very beautiful terms that it is Vastunishta and Purushanishta. That means it is personal things you can negotiate, and that, okay, hey, Anupam, you are selling this for say $100, but I'm your friend, can you reduce the price? Oh, Swami, you are my such dear friend, I will give it to you for free. Because it is whatever he decides, it is his thing. So he can increase the price, decrease the price, or if he feels favorable to a friend, can give it for free. But here the vastunishta means it is dependent on the nature of that thing. The nature of this truth automatically means the price to get it is give up the attachment to untruth. There is absolutely no negotiation on that. So he says that there is no doubt, there is no death, there is no division of this or this. And I have no parents because I have no birth. I have no birth. What is birth? Whose birth? Just think about it. It is a very deep subject that when we say a child is born, means say a ball of some fleshy stuff just comes out of the womb, and then we say we give it a name, that this is George. That before that there was no George, as it were, that after the thing comes out, then we call it, give it a name. And then that thing also starts imagining, I am George, and this is my father, this is my mother, and so forth. Actually, it is all the connection of body. That is how the DNA and those characteristics get imprinted on that, and it determines the scope of growth of that flesh, how it will function. But that is not I, so I do not have any parents. The parents, how? Yeah, it is, even these parents, earthly parents, I am somebody's father, somebody's mother. It is, the parents actually never ever made a child. Absolutely, just fictitious idea that I am somebody's father and somebody's mother. It is not true at all. The parents did not know what is going to happen, how they are going to make the nose of the child. Can any parent tell that how they made the eyes and the ears of that? No, it is not real. So it is, they labor under the delusion, and the child also thinks, yes, at the physical level only, yes. But therefore, even in the churches, Christian churches, I was reading what is told to the children, that they are taught, who made you? God made me. It is the God who made me, not this father and this mother as such. So I have no parents because I have no birth. And so Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham, I am that. This truth is potentially there in all of us. And so we are ever free. It is not that we get freedom by ordering it on Amazon.com or wherever. We are ever free. We have to just realize this, know this. It is not that we are in bondage and then after somebody comes and cuts the bondage, we become free. No, we are ever free. The ignorance is the bondage. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell that story that a sage had come to a king's court, and the king said to the sage, please show me the way to get liberated. Naturally, such questions are asked of a sage that please show us the way. And the sage just hugged a big pillar in the hall, hugged the pillar and started shouting, oh, oh, release me from the bondage of this pillar. This pillar, I am bound by this pillar, please release me. And everybody naturally laughed. Hey, you have to just give up the hold. Who can release you? Nobody can release us. It is we who are holding it. That on Friday I quoted that verse from Vivekananda's Song of Sannyasin, that it is thine is the hand that holds the rope that drags thee on. So give up thy hold. So this is aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupo. I am beyond all shapes, and I have no this birth or death, no time sense, no doubt of any type. So, and as vibhutvachya sarvatra sarvendriyanam, I am there in every single pore of existence. I am that in every pulse of consciousness. I am inside that. It is to be seen, that's all. As Swami Vivekananda describes, that none of us has ever seen anything but God, but not as God. We see this object or that object or that object, this person, that person, and so forth. But what is it? It is just God. It is like you see the ocean as waves and stand in front of the ocean and say, I have not seen ocean at all. Where is the ocean? Oh, all these waves that you have been saying, that is ocean. You know, it is, yeah. Suppose a wave thinks that let me meet ocean, what it has to do? Just, well, I am that, that's it. It doesn't have to travel somewhere and sit meditating. No, I am that. Vibhutvachya sarvatra sarvendriyanam. Vibhu means all pervading. Everything that we are seeing is that alone, pervaded by that alone. So this awareness is to be inculcated. So, and thus nacha sangatam naiva muktir nameya. So I don't have any freedom in the sense that I have no bondage. The idea of freedom is, as a relative thing, is dependent on the idea of bondage. So, knowing that I have no bondage, what is there, the freedom? Na muktir, no liberation for me. I am ever free, ever perfect. So, because I am this existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute, I am Shiva, I am Shiva. Let this thought keep on ringing in our ears and let it propel our actions in the correspondingly truthful way, that let that truth come in my life, let my actions be conducive to that truth. So this is the meaning of this great hymn composed by Shankaracharya. Let us think of it for a little while, 30 seconds or so, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Any questions? John?
Yeah.
You have to hold like this.
Hold it near your mouth.
Pardon me?
Hold it near your mouth.
She may say, no, I have no mouth, no.
And I would be right. I know.
Okay. Okay.
May we go back a minute to when the young Shankaracharya was in the grip of the crocodile's mouth?
Yes, yes.
I guess this is a new idea, that he had a presence of mind so that at the moment of his death, he took the oath of a monk. I mean, is this something in the Ramakrishna order, or is this a monk now in this birth, or a monk in his next birth? I mean, anything you can say about an explanation or what's going on would be appreciated.
Well, this thought is in the scriptures, that at the point of death also, that is called atura sannyasa. At the time of death, if somebody mentally takes these vows that I am none of this, I am existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute, Jyotiraham viraja vipapma bhuya sagam swaha, I am free from all impurities, and I am of the nature of supreme luminous consciousness, Jyotiraham, free from vipapma, viraja vipapma, free from all sins, all impurities. That is the sannyasa. So it is at the time of Shankaracharya's catching crocodile, it is done. Many take this to monastic vows, not in our order, but at many other places the person is at the deathbed. This used to be more of a custom in the earlier times. Nowadays I don't know anybody ever follows it, but that used to be the custom, that if a person wants at the time of death, rarely anybody wants, everybody wants things of so many enjoyments that they were not able to fulfill in this life, so they think of that and die thinking of that. So, but somebody who has purified the life and then wants nothing, but during the ongoing life he didn't get that opportunity to take to monastic vows. So scriptures have provided this a gateway, that okay, at the time of death think of these things and take to monastic life for that moment. So you die as a monastic, die as an illumined person. Yeah. There is this, Abhishek has some questions.
Pranam Maharaj. So this is a repetition, but in the light of the new things that Shankaracharya or Vivekananda or you said. The question is the same, that when you say that you have to leave this bondage, you should not hold on to this. But I am the consciousness, how can I be holding on to it anyway? Now, in the light of new things that you said on Friday, that it is, and today, that it is the mind, the intellect, and the ego, yeah. So probably these are the three things that is perhaps then holding on to the bondage. But if they become free, how can they go to the consciousness? Because they are not a part of the consciousness.
Yes, but the consciousness pervades them. It is consciousness pervades them like a wave, you know. The wave is pervaded by water. Same, but the wave doesn't know that. So, and the wave, if they suppose that ocean thinks I am a wave, then it becomes bound by that wave. So, that is the idea behind this thought, that the moment that I realize this truth that I am consciousness supreme, automatically all attachments are dropped, all identifications are gone. It is, this hymn says that those who have not realized this truth can do this practice, by which they will gradually realize it. That is the efficacy of these things. That efficacy means if you practice this, gradually it comes in our life as well. That yes, I am none of this. So, the life has been led with the identification with mind, body, etc. Now it has formed a very strong bond. Now we have to reverse that cycle, as it were, and extricate ourselves from that bondage. And so it requires that practice. Whenever there is the idea that, oh, I like it, I must do it, restrict it. No, things should not be done because I like it. Things should not be avoided because I don't like it. It should be done on the basis of what is right and not right. What is taking me to the truth is right. What is taking me away from the truth is not right. And then life gets that kind of a turn gradually. And you realize this truth. So all scriptural messages have this twofold function. Firstly, to emphasize the truth for you, and secondly, show the path by which you will realize this truth. So, I am not this, not this, not this, is how to train our awareness by which we will be able to see this truth that I am that consciousness, bliss supreme. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, any other question? Any other question there? There is no question up there. Okay. So, I will tell you about the upcoming programs. Coming Sunday, it's a very special program. Actually, today is Mother's Day, but a lecture about mothers is going to be given by Pravrajika Krishna Prana, who is in our center, so that Vedanta convent of Santa Barbara, California. She will be coming on next Sunday to give a talk. So although that is the Mother's Day is this Sunday, I got confused myself. That she said that I am giving this talk for Mother's Day, but not on Mother's Day. So it is, her talk will be there. And then there is going to be a music concert by a famous sitar player, Srinivas Reddy. He will be accompanied on tabla by Ajit Acharya. Both have performed here multiple times. So you are welcome to join this concert as well. Then the other programs during the week will go on as usual. It is the Tuesday, Friday classes at 7:30 p.m. Tuesdays the topic is Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. Fridays the topic is stories from Srimad Bhagavatam. Daily early morning and evening meditation prayer sessions. You are welcome to attend those if possible. So let us conclude. Except for those prayer and meditation sessions, all other programs are available live on YouTube too, live as well as recorded. May the Divine, who is Father in heaven of the Christians, Holy One of the Jewish faith, Allah of the Muslims, Buddha of the Buddhists, Tao of the Taoists, Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Ahura Mazda of the Zoroastrians, and Brahman of the Hindus, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May the all-loving being manifest himself unto us and grant us abiding understanding and all-consuming divine love. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. There will be now the arati and then the soup supper. Soup supper will not be given on the YouTube. So.
Breaker of all our worldly bondage and adored by all, we adore you too. Stainless Lord, assuming human form. Stainless Lord, assuming human form. Transcendent yet filled with love. You free us from the stain of sin and ornament our world. Consciousness is your form. Your eyes always purified by knowledge. Your eyes always purified by knowledge. Looking at them, delusion is gone. Ocean of shining love and feeling, ever inebriated in your infinite love. Your feet always dear to your devotees. Your feet always dear to your devotees. Form a boat to cross this world. Revealed to us as God incarnate. darkness and fear. Renouncer of all lust and lucre, therefore you were always spurning sensual life. Lord of monks, you are the best of men. Lord of monks, you are the best of men. Grant to us pure love for you. You're fearless and you're free from doubting, with your mind very firmly resolved. Causeless refuge of your devotees, causeless refuge of your devotees, renouncing caste and birth. Our treasure is your holy feet, which take us very soon across this puddle of life. You give love and even-sightedness. You give love and even-sightedness to remove our anguish here. Our treasure is your holy feet, which take us very soon across this puddle of life. You give love and even-sightedness. You give love and even-sightedness to remove our anguish here. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Yet you are the basis of both. O Lord, yet you are the basis of both. Great light of all lights, blazing in the heart's cave. Great light of all lights, blazing in the heart's cave. Darkness is destroyed by your light. Oh Lord, darkness is destroyed by your light. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Greetings to you, O Lord, beyond both speech and mind. Yet you are the basis of both. O Lord, yet you are the basis of both. Great light of all lights, blazing in the heart's cave. Great light of all lights, blazing in the heart's cave. Darkness is destroyed by your light. Oh Lord, darkness is destroyed by your light. Dhedhelanga ranga bhanga, these are all the sons of Vedanta. Dhedhelanga ranga bhanga, these are all the sons of Vedanta. Spiritual songs devotees are singing for your worship divine. Spiritual songs devotees are singing for your worship divine. Jaya Jaya for your worship divine. Hara Hara for your worship divine. Shiva Shiva for your worship divine. graciousness sublime, all noble ends you give to us, granting us refuge, all-seeing Gauri. O Mother Divine, our love to you. Creation, preservation, dissolution are your powers, eternal one. Nature's real basis, nature's essence. O Mother Divine, our love to you. We come seeking refuge from anguish. Be our Savior through your deep concern. All our suffering remove, Goddess. O Mother Divine, our love to you. Victory, O Mother Divine, our love to you. Blessed Mother Divine, our love to you. Blessed Mother Divine, our love to you. Blessed Mother Divine, our love to you. Jai Shri Ram Krishna Dev Ki Jai. Jai Shri Sarda Devi Ki Jai. Jai Shri Swami Vivekananda Ki Jai. Jai Shri Buddhadev Ki Jai. Jai Shri Jesus Christ